Okay, this is going to be the review for Conics. There's a couple graphs that we're going to have to hand draw on here. Just to let you know, because I couldn't print them on the packet. But this is for 2014 Conics review. Okay, first conic. This is all about parabolas. Okay, all right. What they want us to do here is basically they want us to find the equation in standard form, find the vertex, find the focus. Okay. Now, what's nice about this one? All right, this has already been in squared form, so I'm good here. So what I need to do is basically I need to get that x over there. So what I'm going to have is I'm going to have, this is going to stay y minus 2 squared. All right, the 6 is going to stay. Okay, the 2x will move over, so it's going to move over and it'll be negative 2x. Okay, and then what I need to do is divide by negative 2 each part. Okay, there's a 1 in front of here. So what my equation looks like is x equals negative 1/2, all right, y minus 2 squared, all right, minus 3, okay. Now, the vertex here, all right, the vertex here, because the y coordinate will be opposite, so that's going to be 2. I'm going to follow with the x, okay. All right, now, for the graph part, go ahead and use your calculator for that. All right, you're going to go to Menu and Conics, okay. All right, since it's an x equals equation, I'm going to use that one. All right, the a is this number right here, which is negative 1/2. So negative 1 divided by 2. Okay. All right, the k is the number on the inside, so it's going to be by 2. And then that's going to be negative 3. All right, I'm going to draw. I can't see it very well. F3, F3, exit draw. Okay, that's what I got. All right, I can do G-solve vertex, can confirm my vertex. All right. G-solve focus, all right, negative 3.5, comma 2. Okay, and all I'm basically going to require you to do is negative 3 over 2 up. Okay, there's the vertex, negative 3 over 2 up, there's the focus, and then just draw it, make a rough sketch. We don't have to be that particular with it, okay? All right, now on this one, all right, this is not in vertex form yet. So what I'm going to need our standard form. So what I'm going to do, all right, is I'm going to go exit. Since x is squared, I'm going to find the x squared one. All right, so what's that? All right. Now, what I'm going to want to do here, okay, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to move this 2y over, okay? All right, 2y over. All right, and what I'm going to want to do is I'm basically going to type in all this stuff. All right, 1 is in front of x squared, negative 6 is in front of that, and then negative 3 is my number. Now, this one's different than what we do later because we normally put c as 0. But in this case, working with the parabola, we're actually going to do that. All right, so I get G-solve that. All right, so I'm going to do G-solve vertex. Okay, and my vertex is 3, negative 12. Okay. All right. My vertex is 3, negative 12. I'm going to use both of these. Actually, hold on one second. Before I get to that, all right. What I'm going to do is, apologize for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the x first, okay? So what this would look like, okay, is I would have x minus 3 squared, okay, all right, minus 12 equals 2y, okay? That's the completing the square form of it. Now, as you notice, I have a 2 there. So I'm going to divide each part by 2. Now, what's nice is that's just going to be the 1/2 on the outside. So now what I have here is I've got y equals, okay, I'm going to marker 1/2, right, x minus 3 squared minus 6, okay, minus 6. So my vertex is actually 3, negative 6. So just like sort of like what we've done with the ellipse, we want to focus on writing this out first, okay? Now we might have to divide in there, okay? So I'm going to go back, and when I type this stuff in, okay, I'm going to go back, I'm going to use this conic here that's got the x squared term in it, okay? So what I'm going to have is I'm going to have 1 divided by 2, okay? I'm going to have 3, and I'm going to have negative 6. All right, I'm going to draw, all right? I already got the vertex. G-solve vertex will confirm that. G-solve focus is 3, negative 5.5. Okay, hold on one second. Just waiting for the board to reset. All right, 3, negative 5.5. Okay. All right, so 3 over. Okay, and then 3, negative 5.5 will be like in here. So we just got to know that it's going up this way. Okay, focus is on the inside. Okay, write the equation here. All right, so what I'm going to do to write the equation, all right, pretty simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this out. Okay, so basically 3 over 4 up would be here. Okay, negative 2 over 4 up would be here. Focus vertex. So what I know is it's going to go like this. Okay, so because of that, I'm going to have an x equals equation. All right. All right, now, to make my equation, here's all you have to do, all right? Basically, 1 over 4p. P is the distance from the focus to the vertex. Okay, so if you look at that, that's going to be 5 away, okay? So that's going to be that. Now, since I have to go left, I'm going to make this negative. So basically, negative 4 times 5 is going to be 20. Okay, so I got negative 1 over 20, okay, y squared, okay, and then when I put the vertex in, minus 4 here, opposite, on the outside I'm going to follow. And if you want to check that, if you go into the calculator and go find the x one, all right, I'm going to put in negative 1 divided by 20, all right, I'm going to put in 4 and 3, oops, negative 1 divided by 20, all right, 4 and 3. Okay, I got that. G-solve vertex confirms my vertex. G-solve focus confirms my focus, okay? On this problem, all right, and you can go ahead and make note. This is one of the things that we have to make note of, okay? Go ahead and put the focus here at negative 1, negative 2. Okay, so what we have to do here is we look at our problem. Okay, since it's like this, it's going to be a y equals equation. All right, this distance right here is 2 spots. So 1 over 4p would be, if I put 2 in there, that's going to be 1/8. Okay. All right, then I look at my vertex. That's negative 1, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's negative 1, negative 4. So I'm going to have a plus 1 on the inside, minus 4 on the outside, okay? And if I graph that in the calculator to confirm my answer, all right, I'm going to go to this one, all right, 1 divided by 8, okay, negative 1 and negative 4. Draw. All right, G-solve vertex, okay, G-solve focus. As you notice, that's the correct answer, all right? Moving on. Whoops. Moving on. Okay, so we're now at ellipse. Okay, all right. This is actually pretty easy, this first one. All they want you to do is find the center, the vertices, and the focus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my calculator. All right, I'm going to find the ellipse matches up with the plus there. All right. Now what I'm going to put in for A is I'm not putting in 64. I'm going to put in 8. So you have to square root this number and square root that number. They're like the radiuses. All right, so the next one's going to be 5. Then I put in my center. My center is going to be 2, negative 1. So you type in the center just like it normally is. All right, and I'm going to draw it. That's what I got. All right, G-solve center, I can confirm my center, 2, negative 1. Okay, so 2, negative 1. To do the vertices, G-solve vertices. All right, 10, negative 1. Okay, hit the arrow to get the next one, 2, 4. Okay, to get the next one, whoops, 2, negative 6. And negative 6, negative 1. Okay, all right, to get the focus, all right, G-solve focus. There's two of them. 8.4 negative 1. I'm sorry, 8.2 negative 1 and negative 4.2 negative 1. Okay? Now, when you go to graph it, all right, 2 negative 1 would be here. Okay? And then you just graph the vertices, really. All right? 1. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know it's going to go off the board. Okay? 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? 2, 4. 2, negative 6. And then negative 6, negative 1. Okay? All right. Good way to know that you're right. There's no way I'm going to make you graph 64 spaces. That would be ultra cruel. Okay? All right. To go ahead and get these over here, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and use your calculator. All right. So we're going to start with, let me go back. All right. We're going to use the parabola stuff to help us. Okay. So the first one I'm going to focus on is x squared. All right. The number in front of x squared here is 1. The number in front of x is 2. For these, I'm always using C as 0, regardless if you have the negative 11 there. Draw G-solve vertex. All I care about is, since I worked with x, I care about x. So my center there is going to be negative 1. All right. All right. Now, to go back and get the y's, I go back in. You go up to get the y1. I go to the y squared 1. Number in front of y squared is 4. Number in front of y is negative 8. Draw G-solve vertex. The y coordinate is all I care about there, which is 1. Okay, so when I go to do my problem, okay, there's a 1 in front of x squared, all right, plus 1 squared plus 4, so I keep the 4 there, y minus 1 squared equals. Now, when I go to do the equals part of it, all right, I'm going to type in everything into the calculator, all right, 1 squared, okay, plus 4, negative 1 squared. Now, since I want to figure out this part over here, so I got to think about, well, that would be a positive 11, okay, which is 16, okay? All right, now to get my final thing in standard form, I'm going to go ahead and divide all these, okay? So this is going to be x plus 1 squared over 16 plus y minus 1 squared over 4 equals 1, okay? All right, to figure out that bottom part, I'm going to go into the calculator and go back into the conics area. Okay, that's my ellipse, and I know it's an ellipse because it looks like an ellipse. All right, so I'm going to put 4 in there. I'm going to put 2, so I take the square roots of those. My center is negative 1, 1. All right, that's what I got. G-solve center, confirm my center. I'm still good there. G-solve vertex, 3, 1, and negative 1, negative 1. Okay. And then negative 5, negative 5, negative 1, and negative 1, 3. Okay. If I want to find my focus, G-solve focus, 2.41 and negative 4.41. Okay. And so when I go down here to graph this, okay, I'm going to graph my center, negative 1 over, 1 up, then graph these vertices, negative 1 over, negative 1 down, 3 over, 1 up, negative 1 over, 3 up, negative 5 over, 1 up. Okay, and that's my answer. All right. Moving on, number 8, or let's go to 7 first, and then I'll go ahead and draw 8 in. Okay. All right. So 8. Let's graph that. 2, 2, 7, 2, negative 3. 2, 7, 2, negative 3. All right. So what that tells me is my center is going to be halfway between these. So I got to look at what's the distance here, okay? Now, what I do there is you can either count it Or you can look at the difference in these numbers here. 7 to negative 3 has a distance of 10. We want half of that distance, which is 5. Okay? So if I move 5 down from this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay, that's going to be 2, 2. Now you can also think of it as I move 5 in the y direction. 5 take away from that is going to be 2, all right? And the 2 stays the same, okay? So I've got this distance here is 5, okay? So when I go to make my equation, I can automatically put my center in, okay? That direction that I found here of 5, okay, 5 is going to be, I'm going to put that underneath y because this is the y direction. I'm going to put 25. The way you can check that is square root of 25 would be 5, so the vertical radius is 5. To get the other one, 6 divided by 2, because that's going to, the axis is telling you the whole length. So that is 3, okay? So that would be 3 in this direction, all right, if you wanted to actually graph it. But that direction of 3, I'm going to end up putting 9 under here. And what you can do is if you ever want to confirm that you were right, okay, all right, you confirm that you're right, go ahead and put your answer in. 3, 5, center was 2, 2, right? All right, draw. G-solve vertices. 5, 2, 2, 7, good, and 2, negative 3. I know I did it right, okay? All right, now this picture, you're going to have to draw in, or you have it drawn in already. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to label the points that this is at. Okay, so this is at the point 3, 3, 5. And this point is going to be at 3, negative 3. This point is going to be at 5, 1. And this point is going to be at 1, 1. Okay? Now, to get my equation here, it's actually pretty simple. What I want to come up with is the center. Okay? So the center is halfway between these. So 1 to 5 is 4 total. Okay? So that would be 2 spaces over. Okay? 5 to negative 3 is 8 spaces, so that would be 4 total. Okay? All right, now where would that be located at? Well, it's going to be 1 for the y coordinate, because that stays the same. 2 over would be 3. So you can either use math or you can graph it out. Okay? So what I got here is x minus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 1, obviously. Okay? That horizontal distance is 2, so underneath x I'm putting 4. That radius is 4, under here I'm putting 16, okay? And that's that answer. Okay, moving on. The hyperbola, very much the same, okay? A lot of similar concepts there, all right? So what I'm going to do here, I can go back into this, all right? Go down and find the hyperbolas. Now watch your letters. Y is first, so I'm going to select that one. A, so I'm going to put 5, 4, and now my center, that would be negative 2 and 4. Okay? All right, so my center I know is going to be 4, negative 2. Make sure you watch your letters so you don't make a mistake. So if I draw it, here's what it looks like. Okay, I can move over if I want to see it a little bit better. All right, G-solve vertices, 4, 3, and 4, negative 7. Okay, focus. G-solve focus, 4, 4.4, and 4, negative 8.4. All right. If I graph it, okay, you can graph your vertices. All right, 4, negative 2 is the center. All right, I got a vertice at 4, 3. I got a vertice at 4, negative 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. To find the other one, so I found the y direction. So I want to find the x direction, so it's 4 in that direction. Okay. So that one was easy. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the rectangle. Okay, diagonals through. I already know that the graph goes up because that's the picture. So I want it going towards those asymptotes, each direction. Okay, there's my graph. So what you have to look at is Okay, if you got to find the other dots, you got to look at what direction they're in. The other dots we didn't have were the x direction, so I got to take the square root of that. Okay, all right, now here's a little formula one. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to use the conics. All right, I'm going to go in and find the x's first. So I got 9 and 36, and I have 0. Draw, can't see it, zoom auto, G-solve vertex. So I got -2 for the x coordinate. All right, let me go back. So now I'm going to use the y's. So I got -4 for y, and then -24. Draw, can't see it, zoom auto, G-solve vertex. I got -3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because the y squared is negative, that's going second. That's a y. Okay, so I'm putting +3 there. 9 out front of this one, +2 there, equals, okay? So when I type this in, okay, very similar to the other ones, all right? I'm doing 9, 2 squared, -4, 3 squared. So I type it in without the, too many of those. Okay? Now, I don't want -36, I want to find the other one with +36. So what I got is 36 on this side. Okay, so I divide by 36, each part. So what I got for an equation is x + 2 squared over 36 and 4 would be 9, minus 36 divided by 4 would be 9. That's 4 and 9, I'm sorry. Okay? All right. If I wanted to graph it by hand, I'm -2, -3. Okay, let's go ahead and go in here and help ourselves. Okay, so I want to go down to the hyperbola. That is an ellipse. Okay, I want to do the one where x is first. So I'm going to type in 2. I'm going to type in 3. Okay, I'm typing in -2 and -3. I'm drawing it. Can't see. I'm going to F3 exit draw to reset. So that looks good there. G-solve vertex. I got 0, -3, and -4, -3. Okay. Going to find my focus. G-solve focus. 1.6 -3 and -5.6 -3. Okay. And I'm going to just go ahead and graph it now. 0, -3 tells me it's here, and -4, -3 is there. I already know it's going to open that way. Now I've got the x direction. What I need to do is find the y direction. So I'm going to need that. Square root of 9 is 3. Okay. So I make my box with my diagonals. I already know it's going to open this way and this way. And the way I know that is look at the graph. Okay? All right, number 11. Okay? You will get this formula that basically says b squared equals c squared minus a squared. Okay? These are the numbers that are underneath. Okay? These two. Okay? C squared, the way you get c squared is you get c, which c is the distance from the focus to the center. Okay, that will help us in a second. So what I should do is I graph this out. 2, 3, 2, -5. And here's what that tells me. Okay, and then this would be 2, 6. Okay. Oops, that's not 2, 6. 4, 5, 6. 2, 6. And 2, -8. So because of that, I know it's going to go this way. So what you can do to help yourself figure that out is go in and look at your formula. Which ones go that way? It's got to be this one. So I got to lay out my equation just like that. So let's get the center. Okay, just like in the ellipse, 2, 3 to 2, -5. If you look at that distance, that's a distance of 8. So what I want is a distance of 4 to the center. So move 4 down there. So what the center is going to be is it's going to be here at 2, -1. Okay? Now, I know my equation is y squared minus x squared, okay? All right, so what I got here is this distance here is 4, okay? That's going to go under here as 16. That's also my a squared, okay? Now, I can put my center in here, plus 1, because that's the y-coordinate, x minus 2, because that's the x-coordinate. To find this value, that is my b squared. What I'm going to do, I already have the one part underneath is 16. So what I have to do is I have to find the focus to the center. Okay, so if my focus is at 2, 6, okay, and my center is 2, -1, how far is 6 away from -1? 7. Now that's my c, but I want c squared, which is 49. And if I subtract those, I get 33 equals 1. There's my answer. Okay, 12, let me go ahead and draw 12 for you. Okay, or just give you the coordinates. Okay, all right, so basically what 12 looks like this. Okay, these coordinates are at 1, -3. And then the focus is at 4, -3. Okay, this vertex is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, -3. Or -5, -3. Sorry about that. And then the focus here is -8, -3. Okay, so if you notice, it's already been drawn for you, and it's a horizontal one, so I lay out my formula like that, which is going to be x squared minus y squared equals 1, okay? Now, find the center. Well, -5 to 1 is 6, okay? Now, I want half of 6, which is 3 spaces. Well, 3 spaces over is going to be at -2, -3, okay? So that's going to be +2, +3. And that 3 spaces, I'm going to put that underneath here as 9, okay? Now, what I need is b squared equals, I got -9. What I need to find is c squared. So if that's my center, -2, -3 to -8, -3, that's 6, okay? Now, I want to have 36 in there. If I subtract those, I get 27. And that's what goes underneath it, okay? Moving on to the last page, okay? A lot of this is pretty easy. A lot of this is pretty fast. This one is pretty easy. -2, 2 is the center. The radius is 4, because to get that, I got to square root it, okay? If I go to graph it, okay, -2 over, 2 up, okay? 4 each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a circle. Okay? All right. For this one, all right, I'm going to go ahead. This is just like what we've been doing. I'm going to go up and find the x's first. Okay? Number in front of x is 3. Number in front of x squared is 3. Then 12, that'll be 0. G-sol vertex. All I care about is the x coordinates. That's -2. All right. Go back in. Let's go ahead and do the y's. Number in front of y squared is 3. B is -12. I'll use 0 for that one. Draw, can't see it. Zoom auto. G-sol vertex. All right. Care about the y, which is 4. Okay. So what I got is 3. X plus 2 squared plus 3. Y minus 4 squared equals. Okay. All right. Now, what you need to do here is I'm going to go ahead and figure out what that number is over there. 3, 2 squared. Okay, plus 3, -4 squared. All right, move the 21 over, which will be plus 21. So over here I got 81. Now, as you notice, I don't want to have these 3's here, so it's a little different. I'll divide each of these by 3. So what my equation looks like is x plus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 27. Okay? All right, my radius is the square root of 27. So radius is about 5.2. Okay? So if you go to graph this, I'm not going to be picky here. Graph about 5. So -2 over 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, 5 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm not going to be picky there. If it's a decimal, I'm not going to be picky. I just want to make sure you got the right answer. Okay? All right? And then these last two, all right, pretty simple stuff. All we're going to do is write the equation. All right, the center, that's going to be x squared plus y plus 4 squared. All you do is do the opposite. You could write this x minus 0 if you wanted to. Okay? And then to get the actual number over there, I'm going to do, I'm going to type in 8 square root of 3. Figure out that is a decimal. Just go ahead and square it. That makes it so much easier. That's 192. Okay, this one's just like the other problem we had up there. All right, so I'm going to find the x's first. All right, so I'm going back in here to Conics. Okay, let's go ahead and find the x's first. Number in front of x is 1, x squared is 1, and then negative 10. Still using 0. Draw, can't see it. Zoom auto. G-solve vertex. I got 5. Okay, go back in here to do the y's. Okay, so I got 1 for y squared, 8 for that one. Draw it, can't see it, zoom auto. G-solve vertex, negative 4. So when I set this one up, that's going to be x minus 5 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals. Okay, now there's nothing over there, so what I'm going to do, all right, is when I calculate that, there's ones. All right, negative 5 squared plus 1, 4 squared. All right, you get 41. Now I could have very easily done this because there was no numbers in front of there, and I would get the same thing. All right, so that's going to be 41 over here. Okay, and yep, that's going to be it. So there's a lot of detail in this chapter. Okay, just make sure you practice that. If you're good with the calculator, you should be fine.